When Colonel Sanders was only 6 years old, his father passed away. Because his mother had to work very hard to provide for the family, she was gone all day, and the young boy was left home to take care of his siblings. So at the age of 6, he started cooking and taking care of the family. And by the age of 7, he was already a skilled cook. When he was 10, he began working on a farm. 2 years later, his mother remarried to a violent man who didn't like the kids. Sanders dropped out of school and at the age of 13 left home and took a job painting horse carriages. At 15, he even joined the US Army. When he was 18, he got married and started a family. He had a son and 2 daughters, but sadly his son died very young, and the marriage fell apart soon after. Colonel Sanders spent the first half of his life working many odd jobs. He was selling insurance, he was selling tires, he was a farmer, steamboat pilot, secretary, lawyer, he was operating a ferry boat, and many other. He was known for not being able to keep a job for a longer period of time, so he was fired very often. So if you think you haven't found your calling yet, it wasn't until the age of 40 that Colonel Sanders began selling his chicken dishes inside a gas station, and his business became more and more popular that it became a 140-seat restaurant. In the next decade, he developed his secret recipe for frying chicken. But at the age of 65, his restaurant went broke, and for the first time in his life, he had to sign for Social Security. So he was 65, retired, and broke. But he never stopped believing in his dream. So he didn't give up. He used his first Social Security check of only $105 and traveled across the United States in search of potential business partners, offering them his secret recipe. It was one of the hardest periods of his life. He was living in his car, surviving with little food, facing rejection after rejection. But giving up was never an option. Colonel Sanders was rejected 1,009 times before his chicken recipe was accepted only once. Soon, Colonel Sanders had 600 franchises selling his Kentucky Fried Chicken. But the company was expanding rapidly, and it became a bit overwhelming for the old Sanders. So he sold his company for $2 million, but remained as a spokesperson. He died at the age of 90. Today, there are over 20,000 KFC outlets around the world. As you can see, he was rejected more than 1,000 times before he sold his recipe, and almost his entire life he failed at every job he tried. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. Most people get disappointed and give up way too soon. They just stop believing they can be successful when they reach a certain age. But that kind of thinking is wrong. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or in your 50s. It's not too late for you. You can do the most amazing things if you just believe. And don't dwell on your past failures. They don't determine your future. What if Colonel Sanders gave up when he was living in his car, ashamed, rejected, broke? Thankfully, he believed in himself so much that in his 70s, he became the founder of a billion-dollar brand. So remember, you're never too old to achieve success in life. Believe in your capabilities. You're an endless human being. You're not late. Just start. So, what's your story?